So football season hasn't even started yet, and the NFL already has 2 L's on its record. So let's talk about what happened last week with the Second Circuit refusing to compel arbitration for Brian Flores' claims against NFL teams, as well as the NFL itself. So to give a little background to this litigation, Brian Flores was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and after he got fired, he filed a lawsuit in federal court claiming racial discrimination against the Dolphins, as well as a few other NFL teams and the NFL itself. Now, the district court actually required Brian Flores to pursue his claims against the Dolphins in arbitration based on his employment agreement, but the district court refused to compel arbitration with respect to Brian Flores' claims against those other NFL teams as well as the NFL. And last week, the Second Circuit agreed with the district court and said Brian Flores is free to pursue his claims against those other NFL teams and the NFL in court and does not have to go to arbitration. So the Second Circuit goes in on the NFL Constitution's arbitration clause, which purports to appoint Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, to oversee and arbitrate disputes between employees and the teams. And the Second Circuit says, yeah, this actually is not an arbitration agreement. It's only an arbitration agreement in name, but it bears no resemblance to traditional arbitration because, among other things, it lacks an independent decision maker. Let's just extrapolate this to the real world for a second. Imagine that you're fired and you sue your former employer and they say, okay, hold on, we're going to bring in the CEO of the former employer to oversee your dispute. Don't worry, I'm sure it will be super fair and very independent. I mean, that is bananas. And the Second Circuit was like, you are not going to do this. This is not actually arbitration. You can call it arbitration, NFL, but this is not arbitration, and we're not going to give it any deference under the Federal Arbitration Act, and we are not going to enforce this arbitration clause against Brian Flores. When I say that this is a really bad ruling for the NFL, I don't think I'm being dramatic. I think the NFL had a really bad week last week. The Nevada Supreme Court refused to enforce the NFL Constitution's arbitration clause. Now we have the Second Circuit refusing to enforce the NFL Constitution's arbitration clause. It's very, very bad precedent for the NFL and potentially opens floodgates for future litigation to proceed in court.